Hello, all you happy people. What's up, everybody? This weekend, we've got a question from Waldeo. Hey, Christopher, this may seem completely random and not within the same context as this video. I don't remember what video this one was asked on. But I wanted to ask this. Since you've been doing more anime-related episodes, have you watched or heard of Fooly Cooly? So, as many of you know, I have been doing a lot of my memories of particular anime series, Kirblog. And I wanted to do something a little bit far beyond just this question. I thought it would make for kind of an interesting story because Fooly Cooly, which I do have some fond memories of, is a show that actually is pretty special because it was the show that got me to watch Adult Swim, as a matter of fact. So starting off with a little story, this was actually also for people who are fans of my work and know a lot of my older stuff. This was actually around the dawn of the TV Tome Adventures stuff that I did at Newgrounds. It was actually before I had done the first series on Newgrounds, but it was in the process of all of the material that inspired it happening. Basically, Mike Luckas, who again is the kind of co-creator of Tome and the guy that Alpha, the character, is based on originally, he had moved away from. We'd grown up together in Long Island on New York, and then he had moved away to New Jersey, and so he was in the process of moving back. I believe this was the summer of 2003, maybe. So Mike and I, Mike was visiting, and he was staying with me and my family for a little while a new house was being situated or something like that. And he and myself and my mom, and I think some other folks as well, we all rented out a beach house that was in New Jersey. This is one of the few times that I enjoyed myself in New Jersey. No offense to all of my friends over there. That's me. I just did the Y2K game over there, and I shouldn't say that. But whatever. The point is, it was a good experience. So I don't remember. It was like, I don't remember exactly what part of Jersey it was, but it was far enough away to where we rented out a beach house for like a week or so. And, we were not really enthusiastic that much about the beach. It was the summer, and we were just like, we're kids, and we want to play video games and watch TV or whatever. I remember at the time, distinctly I remember Teen Titans had just started airing on Cartoon Network, I believe. And also I think that weekend, if I'm remembering correctly, I believe that weekend was when Mega Man NT Warrior and Sonic X were both airing on Kids WB and the Fox Box, respectively, on Saturday morning. And I think that I was flipping back and forth between the channels to keep up with both of them, which was impossible. Little did I know that the real answer was I should have watched Mega Man and not Sonic X. Whoops. But anyway. So I brought my GameCube with me. We were playing tons of games. We were playing the shit out of like Sonic Anniversary Collection and getting all the unlockables and everything. And watching movies and stuff, and we watched the Street Fighter live-action movie, followed by the Street Fighter II animated movie, which was both of them were not very good at the time, anyway. And but there was this one point in time while we were there, Mike was telling me he had heard about this show called FLCL, as he was telling me. And I was like, oh, what is this? Oh, it's an anime. And I remember vaguely seeing commercials for it on the normal hours of Cartoon Network. And this was that magical time where I had not really seen that very many anime series. So hearing about it, I was like, oh, I want to see it, So we stayed up late every night that week, Monday through Friday. And this was the first time I had ever thought to watch anything on TV at that hour. I just never really, it never clicked in my mind. I'd seen some Adult Swim stuff before. I'd seen a little bit of home movies, which I enjoyed, in a delirious, half-tired state late at night on Saturday or Sunday or something, whenever they aired at the time. But I had never really seen their weekday block before because generally I wasn't staying up that late. So we stayed up to watch Fooly Cooly. But interestingly enough, this was my first exposure at the time to Futurama and Family Guy. I had never seen either show before. This was back when Adult Swim, if those of you who remember, Adult Swim would show Family Guy and Futurama episodes one after the other every weeknight, I think from 11 to 12. And then at 12 was when they had the anime stuff, if they had aired it back then. A lot of Inuyasha and stuff. I did also, I'll get to that, but the Inuyasha-related stuff. So we watched Fooly Cooly, and that was a trip and a half. I enjoyed it. Fooly Cooly was another one of those shows, kind of like what I mentioned before about Gundam Seed, which I think was also kind of around that time, where I watched it and I was like, okay, I think I like this show, but I don't really know what the fuck is going on. So Fooly Cooly took a few watches through for me to really get it and fully enjoy it. There's not a whole lot for me to say about it, which is kind of the part of the reason why I'm doing like a fuller topic about like my Adult Swim sort of experiences like this, beyond just Fooly Cooly. But it's one of those shows where I feel like a lot of people tend to kind of overanalyze exactly what the whole like deeper supposedly stuff about the show is. When really it's like Gainax got a lot of money and then they had enough budget to animate 6 episodes of whatever the fuck they want, and then they did it, and that was it, and it was funny and cute, and I was like, okay. But I don't know, a lot of people kind of took that farther than it is, like it's so deep or whatever, and I don't really think it's that deep. But I do really enjoy it. It's got some beautiful animation, it's got some really funny gags and some really interesting, weird kind of performances in the voiceover and stuff, and great designs and things. I liked it a lot. I think it's pretty fun. What else? Oh, so we watched Fooly Cooly, and then after that, I think I had begun to make more of a habit out of watching stuff on Adult Swim at that time more so. I do remember, this is what I was kind of alluding to previously, was I think also around that time was when, yes, here we go. Okay. Saturday night on Adult Swim, I remember I wanted to tune in and watch the uncut episodes at the time of Yu Yu Hakusho. And I remember that they were on Saturdays at midnight, and I had caught a few of them, and I was like, oh, cool. And that was another show that I was like super obsessed with, and I bought all the DVDs of and everything. But there was one night where I stayed up on Saturday and expecting to see a Yu Yu Hakusho episode, and all of a sudden, an episode of Inuyasha was airing. And I remember distinctly that it was the episode where Inuyasha was turned into a human by the full moon for the first time. Or was it the new moon? I forget. But he was turned into a human, and that was the first episode that I saw. And I was like, oh, what is this? And even all the way back then, I must have been like 14 or something. Actually, this is perfect, yeah, because I must have been 14. I was Kirby for 14. I remember hearing their voices, and I was like, that guy with the silver hair and the dog ears kind of sounds like Quicksilver from X-Men Evolution. That cute girl with the green schoolgirl outfit or whatever sounds like the girl from Hamtaro. Even all the way back then, I had a serious problem. And then, this was also back when they were airing 2 episodes of that show in a row every Saturday. So I saw that episode, and then at the end, after just kind of watching through it, I'm like, what is this show? At the end of it, they had the next episode preview for the one where Miroku shows up, the monk. And there was a scene where Kagome is in the hot springs, and I'm just like, I'm going to keep watching this. I don't know what this is, but I'm intrigued. I was 14 at the time. It's not that weird, I don't think, at the time. Anyway. So I watched through, and then then after that point, a few years had passed, and I had become a fan of that series as well. And then I remember my parents didn't like me staying up too late in high school because that was just the law of the house, I guess, at the time. But I totally stayed up later than I should have been to watch stuff. And I think by that point my like curfew, quote unquote, was at least like 10, I think, maybe even 11. But I would what I would do is I would go to bed, and I would stay awake and just kind of wait it out. And then I would wake up or not wake up, but get up out of bed around midnight or so. And I would turn the TV on and keep the volume very, very low, just ever so low, so I wouldn't be waking up anybody else in the house at the time. And I would watch the new episodes of Inuyasha that would air on weekday nights on Adult Swim. And I remember also at the time, the episodes that were airing, I remember they had the third ending song. It was this song called Dearest, which was this very calm, like piano sort of theme. And I remember really liking that, and because it was this nice kind of calming music right after all like the crazy shit, like Inuyasha turning into a demon for the first time, or like a full demon, and going berserk on everybody had aired, and then it would lull me back to sleep with this nice sweet song after seeing this really epic plot that I was super obsessed with for a while. So that was a fun little part of Adult Swim that was like a major thing in my life for a good like year or so. I remember another thing just hit me a minute ago as I was talking. So I think this might have been the following year or something. I don't remember exactly the time frame of this one. It was when Detective Conan, Case Closed, was airing on Adult Swim at the time. This was another point where Mike was living with me for maybe a month or so. Just like, again, he was in the process of moving and he was hanging out with me. But he stayed over, and this was the summer, so we were allowed to stay up, this late, and it didn't matter that much. We used to stay up and we watch, we watched Futurama and Family Guy and then everything else that would air at that time. And I think Case Closed was the show they were airing at midnight at the time, I think, or something like that. But we were watching it, and there was we used to like follow the mysteries and try to solve it and figure out what was happening with it. It was a lot of fun. But I remember there was this one particular night where we had watched an episode. We hated the Junior Detective League, which were like the other little kid characters in that show that would follow Conan around. And we were good. We watched an episode, and at the end of it, they had the next episode preview again. And they had a scene where Conan and the other Junior Detective League kids were on a bus heading to school. And the fat one, George or whatever, was like, I'm gonna go at every single ride until he barf, blah blah blah, whatever. And then it cuts over to Conan and Amy. Mike and I used to do this thing where we would pause, or not pause. We would mute. We'd be watching like Ed, Ed and Eddie or something, and we'd be like muting random bits of audio, and we like as if we were censoring it. So we do shit like Ed being like, "It is okay, take them. I will just go find a rock." And then we do stuff like, "It is okay, take them. I will just go fuck a rock." That kind of stuff. So, and then sometimes we'd also just like talk over the footage and just like be douchebags about it. Almost like we were fan dubbing or doing an abridged series. Except not at all. So during this next episode preview, it cuts over to Amy and Conan after like the other kids are being annoying or whatever, and Amy is like, "Oh, that sounds great. What do you think, Conan?" And just without skipping a beat, I just spoke up, and the fucking the lip flaps just fit perfectly. I don't know what Conan said, but just it followed after, "What do you want to do, Conan?" I just fucking hate you all, and it just fit perfectly. And we were laughing our asses off, and it was ridiculous. And hopefully we didn't wake anybody up at the time. Probably did. But yeah, and then after that, I just watched Adult Swim with other folks, and it would just be like background noise fodder for me as I was working for a good many years, and loved a lot of the shows that were on there. Funnily enough, though, I will say, still haven't watched Trigun in full, which is unfortunate. And I did see Cowboy Bebop, but I actually watched that show when it was off Adult Swim, I think, and they hadn't had it on the block anymore. I believe I watched that show in college. I rented the box set and just marathoned the entire series, but I missed it. I did watch the movie. That movie aired on Adult Swim, and Mike and I watched that together, and that was a lot of fun too. So Mike is involved with this part of the thing a lot. So hi, Mike. You're probably not listening to this, but yay. Anyway, So that's about it, I think. Tell me, ladies and gentlemen, and everything in between, in the comments below. What are your memories with the Adult Swim? Did you watch the anime? Did you watch the sitcom cartoons? Did you watch them both? What were some of your favorites? Do you have any memories of staying up late and watching stuff that you weren't supposed to because your mommy was going to yell at you? Did you remember other things that I can't think of? I don't know. Tell me in the comments below. And if you have ideas for future Kirblog topics, let me know in the comments also, or hit me up on Twitter, Tumblr, Facebook, whatever the fuck you feel like, and I will consider it. But that's gonna wrap it up for this weekend. I'm still working on till episode 13. I'm trying.
And yeah, but I could look forward to new things soon, hopefully. That'll do it. I will catch you all later. Have a lovely weekend. Bye-bye.